morning, everyone. Welcome to the new training session, new season, I would say. So next training what we're going to talk about today is the Hikvision Basics. I would say more like an IP basics. So we're going to talk about some port forwarding, IP addressing, how to set up the IVMS software, and how to set up the hik-connect on your phone. If you have any question during the training, you can type it in on the right hand side on the web chat. I'll try to answer straight away. If not, I can reply to you in an email. If you have any question, you can also ask me in an email. So once again, welcome. So we're going to join, we're going to start the session right now. Just going to change to a screen here so we see what we have on our network. There it is. This is the SADP software. This is the discovery tool, the Hikvision discovery tool, to allow you to see all your network devices on the local network. I mean the Hikvision devices. So like you see here, there's two recorders, some cameras, and there's also the doorbell, the video doorbell, and Wi-Fi doorbell listed as well. So from the top you can see there's a 7604NI E series recorder, quite old recorder, but it's still powerful. And the new one of the new recorders as well, there's a 7608NI I2/8P. It's one of the best, I would say, recorders NVRs you have there. With the 8 ports, PoE ports at the back of the recorder. So when you look at the model number of the recorder, you can see there's slightly different letter at the very end of the model number. In the first one we have E1, on the second one there's an I2. That will indicate what type of the recorder you are dealing with, but also will indicate how many hard drives, how many software interfaces is in that recorder. So for the first one, there's one hard drive you can fit in. For the second one, there's 2 hard drives. And in this case, there's also /4P, which indicates how many PoE ports is at the back of the recorder. The same for the second one, there's 8P, there's 8 PoE ports at the back of the recorder. Also, what you see here, this device is fully active, so it has been activated with the password, and as well as there's IP address assigned already to both of my devices, and obviously the rest of them as well. I assigned the IP address to the same range as the rest of my network, and I can show you quickly how easy it is to quickly find out what is your IP range of your local network. While you're doing the installation, you might be connected with your laptop to the local network via the Wi-Fi. So straight away your laptop will pick up the network settings. So in this case, I'm just gonna go start and run the CMD. Click enter, and this is my command prompt, and I can just type it in quickly, ipconfig. And what I'm getting here is my network IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway. So this is allowing me to connect not just to local network, but also to the internet via this gateway. Yes, this webinar is recorded, so you'll be able to watch that later on. If you don't have a minute right now, you can jump between the times as well. So what else we have there? Obviously, as I said, this is the network we are connected to. So if you have your laptop connected with the wireless or Ethernet port, and you enable the DHCP on your network settings, that will assign the IP address of your local network automatically. So then, by knowing this number here, the IP address, you have it listed, 192.168.178.22. I can assign the IP address to any of my devices to the same range. So the range will be 192.168.178, and then I just need to pick the IP address that it's free on this network,
So to find out if the IP address is free on this network, it's really simple command. You type it in. It's a ping 192.168.178. That's our range. I can try 200 and see if there's any device on that IP address connected to our network. When I hit enter, there shouldn't be anything there. It's just the home network. So like you see here, this IP address, it's free to go, it's free to use on the local network. So in that case, my device can be associated with this IP address. It won't conflict with any other IP address on the local network. So this is what we're going to do now. So in SADP software, I can assign the IP address, and I can change the ports if I like to as well. So I just select the recorder. On the right hand side, you should see all details regarding the network of this device. So instead of 48, I'm just going to enter the 200 that I pinged before, and it become free. My port is 8000. This is the default port for the software application. What other port I would be worried about later on would be the HTTP port, which is the default web browser port. It's also 80. So now I just need to enter the password down below and just click. You probably won't see that button. I'm just going to enlarge that slightly. I would just need to click the modify at the bottom of the page. Once I click the modify, there it is. My device now, it's assigned with the IP address 200. Simple as that. So now when I try to ping that device once again, if I would like to go back to the most recent command I use in the command prompt, I can go with the arrows pointing up or down. That brings all the commands you can browse through. So when I ping the same IP address again, I should get a reply. Nice healthy reply. There's no latency whatsoever. If I like to ping this device for a bit more time, longer than just the 4 replies, I would just use the same command, space -t, and just click enter. So now I have this device pinging away continuously until I will stop it manually, or I will close the whole command prompt if I like. That kind of command will allow you to test the communication between your device and your laptop. So in a case if you troubleshoot the network issue, just a simple tool like this might help you, especially when you are using the Wi-Fi point-to-point links or TP links, the power plugs. It's very helpful to see how good is the communication between both devices. In a case if there's an intermittent connection, you will find out straight away that this device is coming and going. So I can emulate how is that going to look like when I disconnect my device. So just bear with me for 1 second. There you go. So I just unplugged the cable and plugged it back again for a minute. You can see straight away it's timed out just at the time when I was pulling out the cable. As soon as I plug it in back again, it's fine. So the connection is nice and solid. So if I like to stop that command, I just go Control and C, and that will stop the command. You can see the whole statistics of this ping. How many times you send the packets, how many has been received, and if there's any lost. So now just gonna minimize that. We have our recorder on the local network associated with the IP address. Also the gateway is very important. Without the correct gateway, you won't be able to connect to the internet. So in that case, again, when you go with the command prompt, you can also see, I'm just going to bring that command back in,
That's their default gateway. So if you like to make sure that your recorder is connecting with the internet, you need to make sure that the gateway is right as well. The other way you could do it without assigning the IP address manually, you could just check the box for the DHCP, and that will allow you to just let your modem, your router on site associate the IP address with your recorder automatically. So just type in the password once again. And it's saved now. When I refresh that, I don't even have to refresh it. It comes back to the 48. That's the next one available. So if I will enroll a new device to my network, it could be another recorder, it could be another camera, or any other device, network device connected to our network, it will take the other IP address. So like you see, the maximum I have here is 56. So more than likely, next device would be 57, and so on and so on onwards. I'm just gonna uncheck that. I would just like to have it on fixed IP address on the local network, especially if you're using the port forward, and you need to have this IP address fixed. Not always, but it's a good practice to have it fixed on the local network. It depends on the modem, what kind of modem you're using. Different type of the modems might open the ports different way. They might open the ports via the IP address or the MAC address, like it happens with the air modems. They're seeking for MAC address, not the IP address of this device. That will open the port. So I'll show you later on one of my modems I have connected here with my brand new installed broadband 1 gigabyte, which I'm really delighted to have right now. So we'll see what kind of broadband I have in a second. So once we have the device associated with this IP address, this is our recorder. We can do the same with one of our cameras. So we can see there's a camera, and that camera is DS2CD7826G0 /P-IZS. So if I like to do the same, I can do it individually for one camera, but also I can associate the IP addresses in the batch mode, in the batch configuration. So I can select what devices I like to amend the IP address of, and I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm just going to assign the IP address to my recorder and to my camera. I can also choose one of the other cameras on the local network. So straight away on the right hand side, you should notice a few bits are changed now. So I can assign the IP address that the first device will be associated with. So I can go with 192.168.178.201, for example. I know my subnet mask from my command prompt before, and the gateway as well. Oops. And all of my devices will be associated with the same HTTP port. For the local use, for the local network, it doesn't matter. And it does matter when you have them associated with, like if you have the ports open for all your devices on the local network, but I'm going to talk about this later on. So for now, we're just going to assign the port 80 and 8000. So here you go. I select 3 devices. So I start with an IP address 192.168.178.201. The next available IP address will be 202, 203, associated with the other 2 devices that I connected. So imagine you have 100 cameras on site, and you just plug those cameras to your switches, and you can just select them all and associate the IP addresses in a batch configuration. Just by checking the box and entering the first IP address of your device. So imagine you have 100 cameras on site. You could start with 101, and first 100 cameras would be associated up to 200 cameras. So it's a very useful tool, very easy to work with. So now we should see all my devices changed with the IP address I assigned them to. Alright, so once we have the IP address associated, now we can add this device to one of the software applications, or we can log in via the web browser. So we're just going to log in via the web browser. Actually, I have the page open already. If you double click on the IP address that is listed in this column here, it will open automatically your default browser. So in that case, I have my Internet Explorer. It's recommended for the Hikvision devices, especially the older ones, to open the login page in Internet Explorer. Just make sure I'm just going to get to the right device. So this is my device. I just run the plugin. That's it. We're just going to log in there now. So we're in, and this is our recorder. Like you see, there's no cameras associated with this recorder just yet. If I like to change that, I will need to go to my configuration. In configuration, I have my system settings, when you can see the exact model number and the current version of the firmware and so on. So I'll just go to my camera management. In my camera management, because this recorder has a PoE built in, I have 8 PoE ports listed on the back of the recorder, and that if there will be any camera connected to it, it will assign the IP address from that PoE port to any camera that is connected, if the password on both devices is the same. In this case, I don't have any cameras connected to the PoE at the back of the recorder. I have all my cameras connected to my LAN network, so it wouldn't be a plug and play. We need to do some work here. So here you go. We can just go to the IP camera, and we can go with quick add, or we can just choose manually add and just enter the IP address manually. So remember, we assigned the IP addresses 201, 202, 203. So we're just going to go with 202 now. That's the IP address of the first camera. Password of your camera. And just click OK there. So that will connect. I usually change to a different page to refresh the whole page. But like you see straight away, it's online. There's another method you can do. You can add the cameras. It's just a quick add. It will just take a bit longer there to populate the information on the screen with all the network devices, the Hikvision one. So we see there's one device 203 that I changed the IP address before. So I can just select that device. This device I want to add to my recorder, and just click OK. So if you do it this way, if your recorder if your recorder password is the same as the password on the camera, it will log into the camera automatically without asking you for the enter the password. So straight away we have two cameras, 202 and 203 connected. So we go back to my live view. I will have them listed on the left hand side. So if I like to plane them away, I can just double click each individual camera, or I can just go on the bottom of the page, start our live view. Just need to be careful with the start our live view in a case if you have multiple cameras, like 16, 32 cameras and connected to one recorder, because your web browser might not handle it. So it's always recommended to use the second stream if you like to display multiple channels on the screen. To do that, you can individually select main or substream of your camera, or you can do it in a batch as well on the bottom left hand side. So I can go with the first stream, which is the main high resolution. So if there's only 2 or 4 cameras, there shouldn't be any problem. So if I go start all live view, it would be grand. If I would go with the second stream, it would be much easier for your web browser to process that image, because the resolution is not as high. So So once I'm logged into my recorder via the web browser, I can show you one more trick. When you go to the configuration, you have the camera management. In the camera management, in the case if you have your cameras connected to the PoE at the back of the recorder, not always it's possible to access those cameras locally by just plugging in your laptop to the PoE at the back of the recorder. So in that case, you can create a virtual host between the LAN and the PoE at the back of the recorder. So if you go to the advanced settings, other settings, and enable virtual host, click save, and we'll go back to the system, camera management. You should see there's a link up here just on the right hand side. So for each camera that is connected to my recorder, there's IP address with the individual port to log in with. So if there will be any additional PoE cameras connected, I can just click into them, and that brings back the login page of the camera itself. So there it is. I'm logged in directly to the camera right now. Also, once you're logged in via the web browser, you can go to the network setting just like you would do on the local GUI of your recorder. If you like to amend any additional settings of your network settings. So in this case, you see this is the exact IP address associated with this recorder with the default gateway. I also changed the preferred DNS. I usually change that to this is the actual Google DNS server, and there's a secondary server just in case as a backup. So it's really important to have those entered as well. If you won't enter those two DNSs, or the first one at least, you won't be able to communicate with the hik-connect, because the information you're trying to send to the internet wouldn't know what you're talking about by just using the server domain name. So if I will go to my platform access, this is my hik-connect. So your recorder will try to communicate with this server. So you need to have the DNS to translate that information into the IP address so you can communicate with that server. So once we are in the platform access, like you see, you notice there that I already enabled that hik-connect access for this recorder. And it's fully online, and I can just enter my encryption key that will allow you to later on add this recorder to your phone. You can only use you cannot use the ABCDEF. You can use any other password it's kind of one-time password only. So later on, when I show you in the hik-connect app how to add this device to the app itself, you will need that code. So whatever code I entered here, we're going to need that later on in order to connect to the hik-connect. Also, once we are logged in into the basic network settings, you can see also your ports. As I said, there's a port 80, 8000, and 554. These are three ports that are the most important in the case if you like to open the ports. So the 80 is allow you to log into your device remotely via the web browser. 8000, it's the server port that allow you to use the software application like the IBMS 4200 or 4500 on the app on the phone. But also hik-connect, if you have the ports open, you can use the port 8000 to speed up the connection slightly and also gain access to more advanced settings. And 554, it's the most common use in third-party software applications, and also used for really old devices, Hikvision devices. I noticed there the port has to be open there. There's NAT, like you see here, it's not enabled. It's a universal plug and play, so that will allow you to kind of open ports automatically. In a case if you don't want to mess with the modem on site with the router, if the router is compatible with the UPnP and has that feature enabled, you can just check the box and save the settings, and that will, and your recorder will ask your modem politely if you can open ports that are listed on this page here. If your if your modem or router it's compatible with that type of DUPnP and there's no additional firewall settings in that modem, it will open those ports automatically for you. So you can try that first and see if the ports are going to open automatically or not. If they won't open automatically, you might just need to open them manually. So like you see here, my public IP address, but my ports are not open because I have a different device already associated with those ports. So in that case, this device, I would have to change those ports to different ports in order to open ports for this device, or disconnect the other device and change manually my settings of my modem. But for now, I'm just going to uncheck that and save it. There's a question regarding the Microsoft killing the Explorer. I'm not sure is that going to happen anytime soon. Even in Windows 10, you still have the Internet Explorer there. But also the latest Hikvision devices, they have the new plugins that they're compatible with, like Google Chrome, for example. So there's no worries about that. There's always the way. So once we have the network settings right, we're going to minimize that page, and we're just going to go and connect our device to IVMS 4200. So when you open the latest IVMS 4200 software application, that's the home page. And the home page on the right hand side, the more advanced settings. So where we are going to right now, it's the device management. In device management, you just need to click the online device. That will bring up the list similar to the one in SADP software, with all your listed devices that they are available on your local network. So if I like to add my device to the software application, I just need to select this device. So I'm just going to select the NVR, and on the right hand side bottom corner there's an add button. I'm just going to change the view slightly. There it is. So there's an add button. You can click the add, you can give it a name. So we're just going to do test admin and whatever password it is. And we can synchronize the time of this device to your PC. So the device becomes online straight away. So now we know this device is connected to our software. Another tip for you, if you have some cameras names already amended on the recorder locally, and you add the recorder to your software application, make sure you don't do it manually. It's just changing the names of each camera. You can do it automatically by just going to the device management group and right click in encoding channels and just click update camera name. So whatever camera name has been amended before locally on the recorder, it will be also amended here and displayed. So this is our maintenance and management page. We can close that and we can go to the main view. In the main view, there's our listed device. So we can double click the folder itself, and that brings up the cameras that we have connected to our recorder, or we can drag and drop individual cameras into the boxes. You can see on the bottom of the page, I'm just going to change the size this slightly. You can choose different division. Up to 64 cameras can be displayed in IVMS 4200, But it's obviously recommended to run the 64 channels if your PC can manage it, you can handle it in such a bandwidth, and some of the cameras to display, because if you're just going to run it on the simple laptop, it might be not passable because of your graphic card. It might be not capable of processing that many images at the same time. But you can go with 9 split screen if you like, no better, and just drag and drop the cameras into the boxes you want. You can change that view anytime, but also you can save that view, the current view we're looking at. So imagine there's a security guard on site, and usually I'm just explaining this like there's a night shift and day shifts, security guards, and they're looking at the different cameras during the day and during the night. So you could create two different layouts for each one of them. How to save that view is just clicking the save button on the bottom left hand side. You give it a name, so test 1. So now this view will be saved on the left hand side here as a custom view. If I would like to change a different view for the second security guard or receptionist or whoever's there will be looking at those cameras, I can just add a couple more cameras if like, and just save that view as test 2. Also, I can create a brand new and just click save again and give it a name. So now I have 2 listed custom views that can be amended by just changing the view if like the layout. And it's just double click, it brings up the page that you're looking for, the current layout that you're amended. So once you look in the live view on some of the cameras, what else you can do? You can take a snapshot, you can record an image to your PC, or you can do instant playback. So if something happened on site, you like to see what happened in the last few minutes, you can choose from 30 seconds, last 30 seconds playback, 1 minute, 3 minutes, up to 10. You can go with 5 minutes, and that brings up the quick playback in one of the windows that has been displayed here. So if there's something happened in the past, in the last few minutes, you can just go quickly jump into that time, and you can start recording to your PC and make a backup of it straight away. So by just clicking the start recording, and just keep watching whatever happens. So when I have the video that I want, I can just stop recording, and now on the right hand side bottom corner there's a link that you need to click into it. And that link brings up the snapshot, but also the video itself. Simple as that. It's recommended that you use the VS player, it's a Hikvision player, but also I'm using the VLC player, which is really handy to use. So if I like to close that playback here, I can just close it all together. So this is our live view, very simple. There's a PTZ control on the left hand side that you can navigate. If your camera is a PTZ camera, you can go and move around the camera manually if you need to. Also, you can run some presets if you extend that view. So I'm just going to close the main view and I go back to main page and have a look in the remote playback. So in the remote playback you can go in a specific date and time that it will allow you to do the playback for a particular camera. So you just need to click the exact start time and an end time. So for example 12th for the whole day, and that brings up the camera here. And again, you can just start recording, or you can just right click and start downloading and choose the exact time frame you're looking for. And you can also attach the player to be downloaded to that folder. So then you can copy the video and the player to the USB stick and hand it to Gardy or whoever's need that file, need the backup. So this is how it is to add the recorder or any Hikvision device to the IVMS software. Like an IVMS software is really powerful software. Like you see, there's plenty of different options and features that you can use for different types of the recorders and the cameras, and as well as access control with the intercom. So once we have that IVMS working, we can also log into the cloud. So if you have to register your device to the hik-connect to the cloud, you can add the device here as well by just clicking this cloud symbol on the top of right hand side. So if you like, you can log it in with your details, the same details you type it in on your phone, you can do it here as well. So let me just show you the phone app. So just bear with me for 1 second. There it is. This is our phone app. So like you see, I already add the device here to our app. Just let me go back there. I'm just going to delete that device from my account. I'm just going to start from scratch. So once you're logged in with your registered account to the hik-connect, you can register via the phone number, mobile number, or via the email address. Once you register, you confirm your security code, verification code. That's the page you're going to get to. It's the main page of your hik-connect, the latest software application. So there's a few ways you can add your device. If you have the hik-connect enabled, you can just click the plus button on the top of the page. You can scan the QR code or enter the serial number, which is the QR code, manually. So you can go with the manual add, and you have a few options here as well. You have the hik-connect domain, which is the hik-connect platform access with the serial number, or IP domain. So you can enter the public IP address of your site, or domain if you have the DDNS associated with this dynamic IP address on site, because obviously the public IP address these days, it's a paid service. So if you like to associate with the public IP address, it needs to be fixed. If you don't have the fixed IP address, you just need to use the DDNS. There's a few DDNS free services you can use. The one I'm using is a DYN DNS, very handy, very simple to use, and you can associate the
recorded the site you have on site, one of the sites with the public dynamic IP address, and it will track that IP address the way it should be, without any latency, without any intermittent connection or so. So in our case, I'm just going to look at the serial number of one of my devices. So when you look at the device serial number, for example, this one here, this is our device serial number, but it also contains the model number. So if you move to the right, this is actual serial number of this device. It's just here, the last 9 digits, and in the latest recorders and the cameras there's also a letter. So it could be D, could be C, could be any other letter, and 8 digits. So I can copy that. So it's a D 149342. Just click the save button. It will search for this device online if this device is available to go and connect. And now I just enter my verification code. And that's it. My device is connected to my hik-connect. Also, if I have the ports open, I can configure my DDNS. But in this case, I don't have the ports open just yet. I'm going to show you how to open the ports in a second. I can give it a name. And just save it. So here you go. This is our camera. On its own, I can add the recorder the same way, or any other device that is connected to the internet from your local network. So in a hik-connect, I can also do the live view. I can also do a playback, just like I could on the IVMS 4200 on the PC. So if I like to do the playback, I just go select the exact date I'm interested in, and just do the playback time and select the device that I like to do the playback. But also I can go to the settings of this device, so I can check if the time is right, if there's any notifications are enabled or not. So if you're looking for the push notifications to receive on your phone, make sure you go to the settings and see if the notifications are enabled. So for example, if you have the intrusion detection line crossing, like in this case it's the NPR camera, it might just come up on your phone if you have some reg plates blacklisted. You can see the current version of the firmware on this device and the storage, if there's any storage. On the bottom you can also delete this device. So this is our hik-connect. Then if you go on the bottom of the page, you can see there's a notification page. So if there's any push notifications been sent from this device, it all will be listed here. In the more settings, you can see the pictures and videos. So if you saved any snapshots or recorded video to your phone, they all will be in this folder. You can also use the manage sharing settings, so you can share this device with anybody else who has the hik-connect account. So you can just go and click the button to share your device. So you just type it in, the name, or the more likely the username or email address of the other person that you'd like to share your device with, and you just need to select your device. So I can share with, see if my old account is valid there now.
can give it a remark, so nickname or so, test. And then I can just select my device on the next page. So I can select this device will be shared with that account. And you can also give them permissions, different type of the permissions. If you like, you can just give them a live view. You can also give them a remote playback, allowing PTSAT to control if you need to. Then just go finish. Because that user doesn't exist anymore, you won't be able to share with, but if you have the user that already registered their account with, they'll be able to share that. So go back to my hik-connect. There's also a share button in here. It's like a shortcut to that page here. So if you go more settings once again, you can see the account management. That will display all the information about your account. Any settings regarding the push notifications. Sometimes the phone app, it might be silent by the operating system. So make sure the actual settings in your like Android phone or iPhone, the push notifications are enabled. And you can also see what is the version of the hik-connect app you have there currently. So the hik-connect app it's updated every so often. If there's any bug or any new feature, I recommend you to go to the website, and there's a brilliant website where you can actually download all of your hik-connect IVMS software. It's an appstore.hikvision.com, and you can choose to download either the Android version or iOS version. So for an Android, you just click download and scan the QR code with your phone, and that will download the latest version to your phone directly. So Charles, if there's a preset there that not working on the hik-connect, it might be just the reason because of the ports not being open. For more advanced data to be sent to this device, it might be just the ports that need to be open. I would like to double check with you later on what is the actual hik-connect, what's the version of the device you had, or if you allow them to log in directly to the camera itself, or if you log in directly to the machine, to the recorder on site. But we can double check how is it. So I'm just going to log into our modem right now. Like you see here, this is the modem page. Usually when you type it in the IP config in your command prompt, default gateway IP address is listed down below. So this should be your IP address to log into your modem. So in the case if you have a different internet provider, that IP address obviously will be different. So for example, if you have old school Aircom 192.168.1.254 would be the range, and again the default gateway. If that is a Vodafone, would be 192.168.1.1. If that would be I don't know, UPC for example, that would be 192.168.0, more than likely .1. But just entering that command IP config, you know straight away what's the default gateway, so you know what IP address to enter on the top of the page. Unless the network you're logged into, you're connected to, it's managed by IT Crowd, then I wouldn't go near that network and just request everything from these guys and tell them what IP address with what ports needs to be open. In this case, we have just our home network, so I'm just going to log into our modem out here. So this is our modem. There's a few devices been connected, and like you see, there's great speed as well. It's actually a fiber sitting on my wall here now, 1 GB. It's really quick. Actually, thanks to that, this webinar is available, because before I was using just a mobile broadband and the upload speed was really bad, so probably wouldn't be possible to broadcast anything. But now when we look at the modem, this is our main modem page overview. Most of the modems, the layout is really similar, and the rules are always the same. The principles of open ports are the same. So we need to know what is the IP address of your device on the local network that you like to open the ports, but also the port number. So like I mentioned before at the beginning, our ports for a Hikvision device by default, they're 8000, 80 and 554. So it would be enough to open 80 and 8000, because if you are using the IVMS software application, if you like to go to more advanced settings of your device, it will use the port 80, not 8000, to log into that device, the more advanced page. I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about when I log into this page here. So if I would go to my device management, if I would just like to go and see my advanced settings or basic even settings, it will open up actual Webrowser page like you see it here. So if you don't have the port 80 open for the public network, you won't be able to go to those settings here, and these settings are really important sometimes to amend really basic stuff, but really crucial to actually get something working properly. So we'll go back to our modem. So in this case, I already had the ports open, so I can show you where those ports are in this modem. So if I would go to my internet permit access, there's my camera, and there's also my recorder on site. So what I have here, I associated the IP address with those ports, those 80, 8000 and 443. It's for encrypted communication with the web browser if you'd like to have it open as well. So in order to open the ports, what I had to do here, I had to create the device on that list. So I have to add the device. So I could select device from my list here. So like you see, there's plenty of different devices. So I need to find out what's the IP address of your device is. So usually if there's a Hikvision device, it will be listed just with a pure IP address. Like in this case, it could be a PC and IP address of your recorder or your the camera itself. In this case, I selected 201, which is our recorder. On the right hand side, I can select what type of the application we'll be connecting. So I can just choose any other application. And the name, I just give it a go, CCTV 80, protocol TCP, port, device port, it's 80 as well. But because of this port is already associated with my other recorder, I can actually open a port only 8001 for the second one. So now just click OK. And this device will have the port 8001 open. But this device doesn't have the 8001 associated just yet. So I need to go to my SADP software and make sure that 201 port is changed from 8000 to 8001. So those two ports need to match, the one that you open on the modem and the one on the local network. So you see there's 8001, it's open there now. So in the page like yougetsignal.com, you can check if the ports are open. So as you see here, I have the port 80 and 8000 open already. My device on 8001 probably will be conflicting with the other device I have connected. So in this case, I need to make sure that only one device has a port 8001 open, which is my camera on IP address 203. So I need to go to my camera on IP address. Yeah, that's the port, and port 81. So my recorder, I can change that to 8002. Like you see here, there's too many devices, and if their if their ports are conflicting, you won't be able to open ports if they have the same ports. So I need to change each individual device that would like to open the ports to a different port so they won't conflict on my modem. So other application, so now this device here, now it's associated with the ports 82 and 8002. It kicks in a second with those devices, and with those ports showing here available. So this is our recorder on 8002. There you go. So now they're active when I refresh the page. I'm just going to test that once again. And the port 8002 and 82 should be open there now. There you go. So I have 3 devices now open to the public network. Each device has a different IP address on my local network, and also has a different ports associated with. So there are 2 recorders and 1 camera standalone to log in with. So Eden, if I suggest any ports changing, I would say yes. In a case if, these days any person who would like to hack your network or your device somehow, they wouldn't know what are the default ports on every device, but it's if your device is secured, if you change a password, which is obviously recommended straight away as you do installation, then you're safe. There's nothing to worry about, even if you leave it on 8000 port or 80 port. So it's all about the security. Like make sure the password is always changed. That's the first thing I would always change when I do the installation, or log into somebody to advise them to change that password. So then the ports, you can always scan the ports. You can always check externally with the different tools what ports are open. So, but changing the port, the default port, to any other port, it doesn't really make that much difference for whoever like to find out if there's any ports open. It's more important how secured is your network. If you have it in firewalls, if the password it's exposed to anyone who's not supposed to have this password. So in that case, like you see here, I have 3 different devices. One of my devices, it's logged in with the default ports. The other 2, I just changed it because I had to change it in order to communicate with them from the public network. And they're totally fine. There's no problem. There's no security risk here whatsoever. So once I have those ports open, I can go back to my device, my device in the hik-connect. And the hik-connect, I can just go back to settings of the hik-connect, and remember there's a configure the DNS settings. I can just click into it, and the ports I have changed on my device will be associated with this device, and I can just enter whatever username and password is. Maybe just because this is just the emulator of the hik-connect, so it might be not working as the way I want. So because if this is emulator, I won't be able to assign those here. But on your phone, you'll be able, if your ports are open, you'll be able to change those settings and actually speed up the connection. So the hik-connect will be used as a DDNS, but on the back of it, there will be a ports open. So that will allow you to log into this device, more advanced settings, also the basic settings, but also receive more information from this device. So the hik-connect will be more likely used for push notifications only, and then all communication will be going through the public IP address, that DDNS, which the hik-connects become in this stage. So the same thing is here if I like to add my device from the local network, from the public network. I just need to click the add button and enter the IP address. So in the case if we are remotely connected to our network, let's go back here. I'm just gonna give it a test home port 8000 and whatever password is, and just connect with a public IP address. So in a case if you have the fixed IP address, that's the way to connect, by using the public IP address, the port number if you have that port open, and just use the user and password, the old school way, all the CCTV used to be, and still is. So The hik-connect, it's just on the top of it. I would say the hik-connect is it's more user-friendly application. If you're streaming only a couple of cameras to your phone, it's grand. It will be it will be all right to do that this way. But in the case if you have more advanced, like a business enterprise, then I would definitely recommend to open the ports or ask the whoever is managing the network to open those ports for you. So what happened if I change port 8000 or 8000 to any other port like 8001 or 8002, or if I changed my HTTP port to 80 from 80 to any other port? You always need to remember when you log in back to your device, in a case if you change the port to something else but 80, obviously you need to go with a colon and whatever port is. So for 202 I can see there is sorry, that's it. For 203 it's 81, so I would just go with 203 and I need to make sure I just enter 81 at the back of it, at the end of it, so I'll actually log into my recorder or camera if I change the camera HTTP port. Because if I was just going to use the IP address on its own, it's not going to bring anything. There's nothing on that port 80 anymore. And the reason why I don't need to enter any port at the back, because the 80 it's the default port. But if we go with 203 and column 81, the new port, it brings up the login page straight away. While we're in the IVMS software, I'd just like to show you a few bits and software itself that might help you to use that software, especially when you have multiple cameras connected to this software, not just 4, 8 or so. In the case we have the 64 or 32 cameras system. In the system configuration, there's a general system settings, but also there's live view, playback, and so on. When you go to the image settings, I'm just going to double check here now. You can choose the play performance. So on what stage the IVMS software will switch to a different stream from the main stream, if you like. But also you can go back to the main view and actually select the exact stream to be used, mainstream, substream, or you can select auto change stream type. So it will choose if that's supposed to be the main high resolution or substream, that will need less bandwidth and less power of the PC to actually process the image. I'm just looking at the web chat there, if there's any more questions regarding the software application. If you have any questions, just go ahead, type it in, no problem. Also, if you are looking for the latest software application, you can go to the Hikvision website, but also there's a website. It's actually a platform access. It's a Portal UK, where you can see and we can find the latest software application. So if you go software, video management software, and you have the IVMS 4200, just the baseline, and Windows. Usually on the bottom of the page there's the latest software application. So in this case it's the 32010. That is the line-based version of the software, which is the latest right now. Also on this page you can find any other software like SADP software that I show you at the beginning, So if you go to the software tools, there is SADP software here, and plenty of other software applications that will allow you then help on daily basis installations, like a VS player or storage and network calculator, and that's allow you to calculate how much storage do you need on site, based on what kind of hard drives you have connected to your recorder. Also, there's a great tool, batch configuration. It's a bit more advanced than the SADP software. I can show you quickly here. So this is the batch configuration tool. Like you see on the bottom of the page is the SADP software kind of built in, and on the top of the page it's like a part of the IVMS software where you can just use the configuration page of. So if I like to add my device to my batch configuration software, you just enter the password, and now I can just go configuration of this device. So in the configuration of this device, I have all information about the time, all the information of the recorder itself, all the network settings as well. Alright, so now I'm just going to show you the same thing on the local GUI as well, so you can see in the exact setup on the GUI. So just bear with me for 1 second. So there is our NVR. Like you see here, I've been testing some equipment here as well. So on the top of the page, this is our menu of the latest GUI NVR. So if I like to go to the network settings of this system, I just go to the system on the top of the page, and then go to the left hand side, go network, and you can see there's the same page I've been to in the web browser. So when you go to the TCP IP settings, this is the IP address of your recorder, the subnet mask, the gateway, and other options available here, including the preferred DNS server, which you always remember to have some DNS server. It could be assigned even automatically from the internet provider, but it has to be something there in order to connect with the hik-connect or any DNS, any outside word with this device. So in the coil, if you like to go to the net settings, this is the page here as well, but I open ports manually, so I don't need to go to that page. I don't need to enable anything here. I can go to advanced settings. In advanced settings, I go to platform access, and there is my hik-connect enabled with verification code. It's linked to my recorder, to my account, and that's another one great if you like to unlink your device from the hik-connect. If for some reason someone lost the password to their hik-connect, you can unlink their device by just clicking unbind, and
and just enter the password of this device. We can also do it in the SADP software. There's an option in the latest SADP software that allow you to choose to unbind this device from any HIC account that is associated with. I think audio it's back on. All right. I was just switching between the monitors to turn off the mic for a second. So when you're in the hik-connect, you just need to enable the hik-connect, enter the verification code, and down below they have the QR codes. Or you can just use the serial number of this device, like I showed you before. Where is the serial number? In the more settings, these are just the ports that I amended in the SADP software. So whatever happens on the SADP software on the web browser automatically will be amended here as well. So if I go to my maintenance, in my maintenance page, this is my device, this is the serial number. So we can clearly see the serial number here, starting with a D65471-200. This is the serial number of this particular device. So if I like to add them manually to my hik-connect, I can just use those numbers. Obviously, if you try now, it's associated with my account, so you won't be able to get that recorder on your account. But this is the device serial number, actually, not the whole bunch of different letters and numbers. It's always before the WCVU, there's 9 characters, and the latest recorders and the cameras will start with some letter. In this case, it's a D, and then 8 digits. So in the system information, you can see also the system information of your recorder. We'll go back to system and network once again. Like you see, there's an option to enable the DHCP, and that'll pick up the IP address of my device automatically. So you need to be careful sometimes when you open the ports, and for some reason someone checked the box for the DHCP, and obviously that changed the IP address from whatever IP address has been associated before. And then the ports won't be open anymore. So in that case, we need to reopen those ports for the new IP address, or just change it back to whatever IP address was there before. You can find out what the IP address was when you log into the modem back again, so you can see what ports and what IP address has been open. So regarding the network of the recorder, you can also see the DDNS in the case if you are using third-party DDNS. If you don't want to use the hik-connect for some reason, you can just go with the DYN DNS, peanut hole or no IP. I'm using DYDNS, so you need to create an account with them. I think for the first recorder or one IP address, it's free service. In the case if you like to have account and multiple sites associated with DYN DNS, and you like to create your own domain name, you need to register, and there's a fee for the DDNS. So in that case, you might just check the prices with their websites. But it's enough just to run the hik-connect and ports open. That's I would say my recommendation. Especially if you install such a recorders in the business, so there will be no latency as much as it is in a hik-connect. You gain more tools and features available for you to troubleshoot in the case if something bad happened to the site. So you can log in remotely, you can log into each individual device there on site, or the camera or the recorder in question. The last time, because I had my NPR camera connected to the public network, I was able to connect that camera to one of the recorders on site and test the recorder if it does work with the NPR camera, and the test was successful. So I could connect my IP camera directly to this recorder over the public network, no problem. So there's some pros and cons, obviously. You just need to find a way
the best way of open ports. Obviously the different modems, different manufacturers, routers, they will have different pages of the different layouts of those modems. But the rules are always the same. You need to know the IP address of your device on the local network, but also you need to know what is the ports that you need to open. So if that is just one device on the local network, that's great. You know the ports by default will be 8080 and 554, for example, if like you use the RTSP string. So pretty much I would say that's it. If you have any questions, if you have any questions regarding today's webinar, please email me. You have my email there on your ticket, I think. You can reply to me, or you can just go to our website, and obviously you're always welcome to give me a shout. Our techie guys are on the calls all the time these days, myself included. So if you like to contact one of the techie guys or sales management sales manager in orders one of the equipment, they have the open doors these days, so you can walk in and have a look at what they have available for you. And there's much more exciting equipment coming in the coming days. I can quickly show you a quick glimpse of one of them I have. Just bear with me. Oh, that's the mouse. And so there it is. This is a new, oh sure, upside down, here you go. This is our new temperature screening / access control unit. So they're coming to stock big time. So they'll be available. So it's an access control unit with a temperature screening. So it's really, really powerful, great stuff. I'll be talking about this, not a small fella. It's quite big, alright. But looks way better than any other I've seen it before. Nice housing, all embedded in one. I will be talking about this this Friday actually, at 11 o'clock. So you're welcome to join this session as well. I'm going to show you how to set them up in details as well. Very, very nice piece of equipment. I'm really happy to have that in my hand right now, because I've been waiting for that for ages now. Really excited. So yes, that will be on Friday. So I will wait for you then. And thank you for joining this session. I hope you know, see something new, you learn something. If you have any questions, please email me directly. You have my email there, details in the ticket. So thank you very much again. Enjoy great weather. It's beautiful recently. Hopefully it's going to stay like this until the next weekend at least. So thank you very much for joining the session. I'll see you next time. I'll see you on Friday then. So take care guys, and good luck.